I honestly don't know what I just watched. Greetings and welcome once again to Roman of the Empire. We are back to reviews. This week we are reviewing the Disney Plus Marvel show She-Hulk. Episode 1, A Normal Amount of Rage. So this was directed by Kat Corio. Corio? It doesn't really matter. It's not very good. And Jennifer Gao wrote it. And damn you for it. Cast Tatiana Maslany as Jennifer Walters, Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner, and a whole bunch of random characters you don't care about. There wasn't a very big cast in this episode. And Ginger Gonzaga as Nikki, the assistant. I was hoping to watch this with a general apathy. Instead, I genuinely disliked it. And you could hate me for that, and that's fine. If you enjoyed this, 1, I'm surprised, and 2, good for you. Enjoy what you like. This is my opinion. This is my review. My friend John, whom I do shows with, pointed out he was watching, I think it may have been Drunk 3PO this morning, and talking about how Access Media was weeping because this show is getting review bombed by men in their 30s. And he thinks that's probably on purpose. They make a bad show so they can yell at us for not liking it. Good plan. She-Hulk is a Mary Sue story, straight up. She gets her powers, and then she's better than actual Hulk. That's pretty much it. That's the show in a nutshell. The writing is trite. Every man is bad. The CGI is not as bad as I thought. It's not good, but it's not Shrek, which is what it looked like in the previews. Yes, it is cleaned up. But again, it's still, you can tell there's not a ton of budget going into that. At its best, it's dull and not very good comedy, which I think it's supposed to be. And it's not worth your time. So, plot summary, spoilers, even though that word in context of the show has not a lot of meaning, blah, 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 blah. So, Jennifer Walters is a lawyer. And if you've read She-Hulk, the comic book, yes, she is. So we come into this, she's practicing a closing argument. Her assistant is literally fawning over how good she is, while a male colleague disagrees. Of course. He's a dick. Of course. And then he gets dismissed by the assistant. Of course. Is this how these people think the workplace is? I've worked in the private sector and other, and if you acted the way these people act, you wouldn't get anything done. So it's taking all the insane stereotypes that are, and it's lazy writing, it's bad writing. That's it. Anyway, Jen breaks the fourth wall to explain that she's a Hulk and then gives us the backstory. In short, she is driving with Bruce, who's in human form. He's wearing a Hulk inhibitor on his arm so he can heal from the Infinity Stone usage. She's driving, and she's going on about Captain America, this and that, and then a spaceship is suddenly in front of them, and they have an accident. She cuts her arm getting out of the car, and Bruce is in human form, so he gets injured, and he's got the inhibitor on, so he's not hulking out. So his blood infects her, and then she goes all Hulk, and that scene actually isn't terrible. It's fine. She wakes up sometime later, back in human form in the woods, and finds her way to a bar. All right. She sneaks in like she's done something wrong, and I didn't understand why she did that, and goes to the restroom to try to clean up. And I'm thinking, why not go into the bar, say, hey, I was in an accident, may I use your phone? Like a normal person would do, but these writers don't do that. So a bunch of ladies come in, and they're like, whoever did this to you doesn't deserve you, girl. And it's a ridiculous scene. So they give her some shoes, they let her use a phone, and they put a coat on her that makes her look like a prostitute. Cool. She goes outside to wait for Bruce, and of course gets harassed by men outside the bar, because that's what men do, right? Any man anywhere is going to harass any woman anywhere. That's what this show talks about. So she's about to take them out when she is tackled by Bruce. Scene goes black. She wakes up in human form in a cottage on a beach in Mexico. This is Bruce's getaway, where he perfected the smart Hulk bond. Tony built this for him, Tony Stark, which he says like 7 times. And this is where things go very Mary Sue. Bruce tries to train her to use her power, but she's good. She doesn't need the training. She can change at will. She actually asks Bruce, is it because I'm better than you? Well, of course you are. And he explains that she needs to control her rage. And then she goes on about how women always have to control their rage when they're getting catcalled. It's fine. Or getting mansplained to, because you have to throw all of, again, every stereotype thing into the narrative of this. Anyway, since she's good, she decides to go back to being a lawyer. That scene that I just described, it's long and drawn out, and she's just better than Bruce at every single thing. And then she leaves. That's it. The end is it's so bad, I'm trying not to use the words that I want to use to describe it. It's a court scene. It's the closing argument that she was practicing for at the beginning of the show. The defense is giving their closing lines, and they're written so horribly. It's like you just need to watch an episode of Law and Order, and you could come up with at least something resembling like a closing argument. But the defense that they deliver, it's a child wrote this who has never seen any kind of crime drama or understands anything. Whew. And while that's going on, a convenient super villain lady bursts through the courtroom wall. Jen Hulk-Salt saves the day. And that's it. And then there's a cringe after scene in which Jen and Bruce are discussing Captain America's sex life. This is exactly what I was hoping I wouldn't get. Terribly written show with CW acting at best, pushing the feminist side of the message. Don't watch the show. I will watch it so you don't have to. If you're looking for a dose of cringe, go for it. This is your bag. If you are looking for an entertaining superhero show with comedic elements, this isn't what you want. I'm sorry. Like I said, I was hoping I could just watch it with apathy. I didn't expect I was going to like it because Disney Marvel hasn't produced anything aside from the What If series that I have liked. Not my fault. I didn't write it. I just reported. Anyway, I'm sorry. This has been Roman of the Empire signing off. Please like and subscribe. Be kind.